Hey guys, this is Steve Wolbach, your friendly public adjuster. I'm putting together another little video here. I give you some more information. I hope that you do find it informative and informational. It's pretty much the same thing. I just said two different ways. What I wanted to talk about here is what does your insurance policy cover when it comes to your pets? So that's the title. What does your insurance policy cover when it comes to your pets? That's an awful long title. Maybe I have to shorten that somehow when I publish this. Anyway, all right. Well, I'm glad you asked that. Lots of us have dogs and cats, and we know sometimes the cats, when you haven't been able to let them out for a while, and maybe the litter box has not been maintained properly, and because it's not really clean completely. If your cat's anything like a cat that I happen to know, his name's Mr. Whiskers, he is very picky, and once his litter box has had some contaminants in there, he's not too interested in using it anymore, so I need to stay on top of that. Anyway, so when the cat ends up having to do his business around behind sofas and in corners and maybe in a closet or somewhere along those lines, is that going to be covered? Well, unfortunately, I have to tell you, no. And it doesn't matter what policy you have. Ah, see, I got you. You were waiting for me to say, depending on the policy. No. In this case, none of that's going to be covered. Now, we also have dogs, don't we? And how about now the dog? You've been away for the day, enjoying yourselves. You didn't make arrangements to have someone let the dog out. And maybe when you did let him out before you left, thinking that like most of us, we go to the bathroom and then we go on our journey. He wasn't as cooperative, unfortunately. So he already needed to go, and he just was being stubborn because you weren't taking him with you. And now you've been away for the day. Well, he's been holding, and you know what? It just gets a little overwhelming for him. So the dog, now it's his turn to do his business. And, well, I would ask you folks, what type of coverage, what does that fall under in your policy? Who knows? No yelling out. Raise your hands. No. You're right. There is no coverage for that. Absolutely. Doesn't matter what policy you have, you cannot get coverage on your dogs. No cats, no dogs. Most of your pets like that cannot have coverage. Now, let me ask you this. Here you got your friendly raccoon that's been staying up there in the attic, and he or she has made a home for the winter, and on top of that, she was so comfortable up there, the accommodations were so great, she decided to have her family and move in and stay there. So now you got mama raccoon and little baby raccoons. I don't know how many do normally raccoons have? Let's say 3. All right, now they're up there, they're rummaging around, they make noises. What else do they do? At times they end up will rip up the insulation because the mom wants to make it comfortable for the little ones there, right? Sure. And what else happens there? You have a situation where they need to go to the bathroom too, don't they? And the little ones. Well, they will go off to a corner and go, but they're staying up there. They're not going outside. So you got a mess, and raccoons can get pretty messy. That's stuff that accumulates is not good. That's very much a health hazard. So I'm going to ask you on that. Now, what condition, what policy is that covered under? Raise your hand. Come on. Well, guess what, folks? Raccoons up in your attic are indeed covered. Yes, they are. For those that did say yes, good job. You get a star for that. That's right, raccoons are. Now, you know what is not that you find up there quite a bit? And that would be squirrels. Anybody have any squirrels up there or have had squirrels? Especially in the wintertime? Well, and you know why? Now, let's ask you this. you say raccoons, you'd say, Steve, my friendly public adjuster, raccoons are covered, but squirrels are not. Now, why is it that squirrels are not covered? Anybody? No? All right. Well, because a raccoon is considered a mammal, and they are covered. Now, as far as a squirrel is considered a rodent, and they are not. Who else is in the rodent family? That's right, mice. Who else? Rats. And none of those are covered, are they? Now, if we talk about a mammal, what else is a mammal? Bats. There you go. Hey, guy up front, good job. So, bats. You ever hear bats in the belfry? Well, if you had bats in your belfry, if you had a belfry, then that would be covered with the homeowner's policy. Now, the only time they will not be covered, and that's again, if you have the right policy. Don't forget that. Let's throw that back in. You need to have the proper policy. But if you do have the proper policy, and you do have those two critters up there, that would be covered unless the policy has specific language that has excluded them. And some policies do. Again, you need to review the policy to find out if yours has that exclusion or not. But yes, those two, bats and raccoons, definitely would be covered if you had the right policy and if your policy does not state excluding those for coverage. Guys, I hope you learned something there. Probably something you wish it would have gone the other way. But anyway, if you found that informative, would you please give me one of these? I can always use. Hey, if you want, well, no, you can only give me one. One's good enough. I want to thank you for listening. I hope that you enjoyed it. And please like it. Please share it. And please support me. Give me your help by liking that page. Thank you very much for listening, and God bless you.